So my friends, it's that time of the year again when we start unboxing the latest TVs that are coming in. Now, I paid full retail value for this TV, however I was able to get some discount from joining the LG website, and I'll leave a link in the description, and if you follow that link you can get 10% off the TV. Now there's not many deals around, but I was able to also pick up a soundbar included in the £1,800 price. I'll probably pass on the soundbar, and then I'm getting this hopefully for around £1,300 to £1,400, which I don't think is that bad for a brand new just released TV. Okay, so we've got the TV out of the box, and now we need to put the stand together. The long black screws are the ones for the stand, and the one with the blue little strip are the ones that go into the back of the TV, so just remember that. And so within a few moments your stand will be on and you'll be ready to fire this TV up. It does just a little click into place, so you'll feel it click in, and then you can attach the 4 screws with the blue stripe and then screw those in. Okay, that's it. Now if you've got a 55 or 65 inch TV, I think it's fine for you to manage it by yourself. Anything bigger, then you definitely need a hand, but make sure that you take care because these things are quite delicate. I do quite like the black marble effect on the back this year, but it is all very plasticky, and again unfortunately we've got that fixed power cable. There is a 30 by 20 VESA mount, and all of the connections, as with the last few years, are on the side. There's 4 HDMI 2.1 ports, and all of your normal connections are there as well. Now I recommend you plug in your cables before turning on the TV, but one more thing first of all. The remote control on the left here is the new one that comes as standard in the UK. Very sadly, because of EU laws saying that we have to have numbers on our remote controls, we're not getting this one, which is the new one, where you'll get that in the US. Why we couldn't have had that and then just a basic one like Samsung do, I don't know. Maybe if a lot of us moan about it, then they might include that as well as a standard one next year. Okay, setting up the rest of it is a little bit boring and pretty straightforward. The one thing I recommend, as I said earlier, connecting all of your boxes first of all, because then they'll automatically be pre-set up when you then go through. Now, AI functions. This year we've got some more AI features, as you would expect. I do like some of these. Now, I'm going to show you those in greater detail in just a second, so I'm not going to turn them on just yet. Okay, if you want to, you can sign into your LG account, and then it's time to remove the film. Now, this is just something which a lot of us TV folks really enjoy doing. You see the true brightness of the picture, and I do have to say, the initial impression with this TV is it is far brighter. Now, I have seen some numbers for some reports that this is going to be the equivalent to what the G2 was, or even slightly brighter. So it's going to be interesting to get this thing measured, but definitely first impressions are that it's a lot brighter than last year's. Okay, it still unfortunately has that annoying stand which is on a slope, and it really means that it's too low to put a soundbar underneath. It also means that the soundbar is too far away from the screen. Reflection handling, again on this TV, this is a glossy screen, and so therefore you do want to avoid bright windows directly opposite. Now again, another thing which I just think is incredible when you're paying this type of money is the actual cable management is just 2 little bits of plastic, the same as last year. Come on guys, surely we can do better in our design department than that. But one thing that I'm not bothered about and looks really good still is the thickness of the TV. It's about 4.5 centimeters thick in total, and the thinnest part of that screen is just 0.5 centimeter. And the bezels around the edge of this screen, again, it really just feels like it's completely edge to edge. It isn't really any different to last year, but I will be doing a side by side with the C4 so that you can see the actual differences, and certainly while the C4 is still available, you can see whether it will be worth picking that one up instead of this one. So do make sure that you hit the red button and subscribe and stick around for that. But I have to say that my first impressions are that this is pretty good. Okay, so some of the first things that you need to do when you get this TV, there's no point having energy saving on. These are bright TVs, and to get the very most of them, to get the best possible HDR brightness, you need to turn off the energy saving. So just go into general and go down to energy saving and get that thing turned off. off. Now, as to the box, I normally recommend one of 4 different picture modes, and that would be either Cinema, Filmmaker mode, ISF Expert in a bright room, or ISF Expert in a dark room, and that will mainly depend on your personal choice and the environment that you're in. For me, I tend to stick to either Filmmaker mode or ISF Expert Bright Room. I just feel that they're the most accurate, but again, I'll test those later when we calibrate it and find out for you exactly which one is the most accurate. Personal Picture Wizard is actually something which I think a lot of people will like. It doesn't necessarily give you the best and the most accurate picture, but it will give you a picture that you enjoy. You run through a series of photographs and then it will come up with an analysis and it will then change the picture settings. And this year we've also got a Personal Sound Wizard as well, and this is where you can go and listen to 7 different tones. You can choose between the 4 options, and again you can choose the ones that you like, and it will then come up with an option, and it will say, for instance on mine, it comes up saying that I prefer a balanced sound. Yes, I do. Guilty as charged. So we've now come around to WebOS 25, and on the face of it, it looks very, very similar to WebOS 24. One thing that was pushed a lot at CES is the AI functions on the TVs this year, so I will be looking into those in a lot more detail and letting you know in my full review whether it's just gimmicky stuff or whether any of these things are any good. One of the things that you have got this year is multiple different accounts and multiple hands-free voice control. It will notice and remember and recognize who's talking to the TV and hopefully then change the settings accordingly. But again, I'll be testing those features out. But the setting up of this, again, was pretty straightforward. Open Disney Plus.
Okay, I'll go to Disney Plus app. All things tech. How about saying something like this?
Yeah, so I guess I'm still on the fence with these type of features. It's just never something that I've really used that much in the past. Let me know whether this is something which you use, or do you just think it's a little bit more of a gimmick? I'm not 100% sure. But it's got some features that I did like from last year, like the little picture-in-picture there, and the Home Hub is very advanced this year as well. And again, I'll look at that. But the first thing that I have to say is the picture quality just seems to be another level up. It doesn't seem to be huge, but it definitely seems to be better. The brightness is something which really does stand out, and when I get these side by side with the C4 and the C5s together, and I'll have them on exactly the same settings, hopefully you can see the difference. In terms of the test that I run straight away when I first get a new TV, well, motion looked pretty good, and all of the clear color screens again looked fine, no issues at all. A completely clear, crystal clean screen. So, first impressions with this TV, well, it's going to be similar to the last couple of years. Physically, it is no real difference, and the only thing that would be different, we've not actually got here, which is the remote control, which again is not the end of the world, but, you know, it would have been a nice thing to have. So, the stand is something which I really don't like. I don't like the fact that it's sloping. I really do wish they would change that. It's not an issue, obviously, if you're going to wall mount your TV, but I know a lot of people don't. But the most important thing is the picture quality, and my first impression without doing any tests and without seeing it side by side to last year's is that it does seem to be a step above. How much of a step above? Well, we'll soon find that out, so check out that video which will be coming in a few days. But guys, this is the C5, not a lot has changed, it's got a few differences. Let me know what your thoughts are so far. Is it going to be something which you're going to be interested in, or are you going to be passing on this machine, or are you going to get the C4? I'll try and get that video out as soon as I possibly can for you, my friends. Thanks for watching this one. I look forward to seeing you on the next.